How many times have you been lying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, filled with a sudden burst of motivation? You tell yourself that starting tomorrow, everything changes. You're going to wake up early, eat healthier, read more, and finally start that project you have been putting off. But then morning comes, life gets in the way, and by noon, that late night motivation is completely gone. The goal evaporates because it only existed in your head. When a goal stays in your mind, it is just a dream. It is a wish. But the moment you write it down, it becomes something tangible. It becomes a target. Here's exactly why this simple act of putting a pen to paper is the secret to actually achieving what you want in life. Let us start with what actually happens in your brain when you write something down. There is a psychological concept called the generation effect. This means that you remember and process information much better if your brain has to actively generate it, rather than just passively thinking about it or reading somewhere else. When you just think about a goal, your brain is doing very little work. Thoughts are fleeting. We have thousands of them every single day. Most of them are just noise. But when you sit down with a pen and a piece of paper, you are forcing your brain to slow down. You have to take that abstract floating thought and translate it into language. You have to command your hand to physically form the letters. This process is called encoding. By writing it down, you are telling your brain that out of the thousands of thoughts you had today, this one is important. It signals to your subconscious mind to start paying attention to things that relate to this goal. It's like when you buy a new car, and suddenly you start seeing that exact same car everywhere on the road. The cars were always there, but your brain is now wired to notice them. Writing your goals down wires your brain to notice opportunities that will help you achieve them. The second reason writing your goals is so important is that it forces you to be absolutely clear. The biggest reason people fail to reach their goals is not a lack of effort, it's a lack of clarity. In our heads, our goals are usually very vague. We say things like, I want to be successful, or I want to get fit, or I want to save money. Those sound nice, but they give you absolutely zero direction. What does successful even mean? How much money do you actually want to save? When you have to write it down, you realize very quickly if your goal is too vague. You can't just write, I want to be better. The paper demands specifics. It forces you to define exactly what you want. So instead of writing, I want to get healthy, you write, I will go for a 30-minute walk 4 days a week. Instead of writing, I want to save money, you write, I will put $50 into my savings account every Friday. Clarity is the ultimate catalyst for action. When you know exactly what the target is, taking the first step becomes incredibly easy. You no longer have to wake up and wonder what you should do today. The decision has already been made on the paper. Another massive benefit of writing your goals down is the psychological weight it carries. It acts as a physical contract with yourself. It is very easy to break a promise that you only made in your head. Nobody else heard it, and there is no physical evidence that the promise ever existed. If you decide you want to read a book this month, but you never write it down, it is completely painless to just let the month pass by without reading a single page. You can easily justify it by saying you were just too busy. But writing it down changes the dynamic. It creates a sense of accountability. You have taken a thought and brought it into the physical world. It takes courage to put your hopes onto paper, because once they are there, they are real. You have to face them. Think of it like setting a destination in a navigation app. If you just get in your car and start driving with a vague idea of where you want to go, you will probably get lost or distracted. But once you type the address in, you have committed to the route. Writing your goal is typing the destination into your life's GPS. Even if you take a wrong turn, the destination is still there, waiting for you to correct your course. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, a written goal serves as a constant visual reminder in a world full of distractions. Life is incredibly noisy. Between work, family, phones, and social media, it is so easy to lose sight of the big picture. You can wake up with the best intentions, but by the time you have answered 3 emails and scrolled through your phone, your focus is entirely gone. This is why you should not just write your goals down in a journal that you close and put in a drawer. You need to write them down and put them somewhere you will see them every single day. Stick a note on your bathroom mirror, put a piece of paper on your refrigerator, tape it to the bottom of your computer monitor. Every time you see that piece of paper, it acts as an anchor. It pulls you back to what truly matters. It asks you a very simple question. Are the actions you are taking right now moving you closer to this piece of paper or further away?
When you are feeling tired and want to skip your workout, that note on the mirror reminds you of the promise you made to yourself. When you are tempted to waste money on something you do not need, that note on your desk reminds you of the financial freedom you are working towards. It is a quiet, persistent voice guiding your daily choices. Achieving your goals is never going to be easy. It requires discipline, patience, and a lot of hard work. But you owe it to yourself to give yourself the best possible chance of success. Writing your goals down doesn't magically make them come true. It's not a spell, but it builds the foundation you need.
Thank you so much for watching Uplift Journal. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel for more videos on building a better mindset and living a more intentional life.